Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ve salatu ve selamu ala Resulina Muhammedin seyyidil evvelin ve ahirin. Meded ya Resul, meded ya Sadat ya Sadat. Destur ve inşallah fazla saçı Muhammed al-Rahmani. Meded tarikatuna as-suhba vel hayru fil cemiyye. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Kul emalu feseyarallahu amelakum. Resulü. Sadakallahu azim. Yaptığınız her şeyi Allah Azze ve Celle görer diyor.
Allah Almighty says in the Holy Quran that He Almighty Allah will see everything you do.
Görecek. Yapın ne yaparsanız
Allah Almighty says He sees. Do whatever you do, He Almighty Allah will see it.
onu Allah Azze ve Celle'nin herkesi, peygambere de insanlar da görecek. Onu
And Allah Almighty will make everyone witness, the prophets and all people, of the actions and their deeds.
ahirette var, dünyada var. Allah Azze
One must know that there are consequences for the things we do. There is both this world and the hereafter.
ve Celle daima Allah Azze ve Celle'nin kudretinin altındayız.
And we must be aware that we are always under the power and the authority of Allah Almighty.
Onun bilmediği şey yok.
There's absolutely nothing He does not know.
İnsanlar cahildir.
Mankind is ignorant,
Cahil nasıl?
and why is mankind ignorant?
Yaratanı tanımayan insan cahildir.
A person who does not recognize their Creator is ignorant.
Allah Azze ve Celle'nin azametini, kudretini, sıfatlarını bilmeyen gene cahildir.
A person who does not know the greatness, the power, and the attributes of Allah Almighty is ignorant.
Zanneder ki ben bir şey yaptım, kimse haberi olmadı.
People think and assume that and say, I did something and no one knew about it. No one is aware.
Kimsenin şey yok. Allah Azze ve Celle her şeyden haberdar.
Allah Almighty is aware of everything.
Yaratan O'dur. Bizi gören O'dur.
Allah Almighty sees us. He's the one who created us and He's the one who sees us.
Her hareketimizi yaptıran O'dur.
In fact, it is Him, Allah Almighty, who enables our every move.
Onun için dikkat etmek lazım.
Therefore, be careful.
Onu yapan insan akıllı insandır.
A person who has this awareness of Allah Almighty and pays attention to what He does is a wise person.
Akıllı insan yaptığı şeyi sonunu düşünen insandır.
A wise person is one who considers the consequences of their actions.
Onu yapmayan, o ahiretini düşünmeyen insan akılsızdır demek.
A person who fails to consider the consequences of one's actions and does not think about the hereafter is foolish.
Onun sonu hayır olsun diye insan devamlı çaba göstermesi lazım.
A person must constantly strive and make an effort so that their end will be good.
Uğraşması lazım. Öteki türlü nefsinin istediğini yaparsa vakit her şeyi kaybetmiş olur.
A person must constantly strive in order to obtain a good end. Otherwise, if they only follow the desires of their ego, they will lose everything.
Onu düşünmek lazım. Hiç
We need to reflect upon this.
her Allahu hadir, bizim tarikatın şiarı. Allahu hazir, Allahu naziri, Allahu şahidi. Allah benimle beraberdir. Allah yaptığımı görüyor. Yaptığımıza şahittir Allah Azze ve Celle.
The motto of our spiritual path is Allah Almighty is present with me. Allah Almighty is looking at me. Allah is witnessing me. This is the main principle of our tariqah, to be aware and be always aware of the reality that Allah Almighty is with me. Allah Almighty sees what I do. And Allah Almighty is witness to all our actions.
Her dakika zikir demek budur. Allah'ı hatırlamak demektir. Allah'la beraber olmak demektir.
And this is what constant remembrance, dhikr, means. It means remembering Allah Almighty and being with Him at every moment.
Allah inşallah kalbimizden çıkarmaz.
May Allah Almighty never remove this awareness from our hearts.
Her an onunla beraber olmak en güzel şeydir.
Being with Allah Almighty at every moment is the most beautiful thing.
Allah'ı hatırlamak, yaptığın her şey iyi olur o vakit.
If you remember Allah Almighty, everything you do will turn out well.
Onu hatırlamazsa tabii insan her dakikada yapamaz.
Of course, a person might not be able to maintain this awareness every single minute.
Yapabildiği kadar onu aklından çıkarmasın.
But to the best of their ability, people should never let Allah Almighty slip from their mind.
Allah bizi görüyor. Kötülük aman yapmayalım. İyilik yapacaksak Allah bizden razı olur diye onu yapmamız lazım.
We must think, Allah is watching us. I must not do evil. But if I do good, Allah Almighty will be pleased with me. And then we must try to act accordingly with that awareness.
Bu güzel hayat budur.
This is what a beautiful life truly is.
İyi hayat budur.
This is the good life.
En faydalı hayat budur.
This is the most beneficial way to live.
O olmasa noksan olur.
Without that awareness, one's life is incomplete.
Hiç hatırlamasa hüsran olur.
And if a person never remembers Allah Almighty, it leads to absolute ruin.
Allah muhafaza etsin.
May Allah Almighty protect us.
Daima onu hatırımızdan, kalbimizden, aklımızdan çıkarmasın.
May Allah Almighty never let Him fade from our memories, our hearts, or our minds, inshallah.
İnşallah. Amin. Allah tevfik. El Fatiha.